Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As I was about to title today's video, I tested every Sizeup escape package in NBA 2K23 so you don't have to. With a little bit of a disclaimer, as you can see, we have the Lillard and Curry packages that we didn't fully test. I didn't exactly have a guard to test this with, so some of the small guard packages have been left out of today's video, but I do know for a fact the hopbacks in these are really good, and also the Curry slide, obviously, of note, is in this package too. I didn't get a chance to test all of the unlisted animations and stuff that we have right here, so I do apologize for that. Not to mention I left Kyrie out of the just test in general because it's not really known as a good small guard package anyway, and a lot of these are more accessible to the majority of players regardless. So we're here to get into all of these in today's video, so I hope you all enjoy. If you do, for to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to 2,000 likes. Now, as you can see, I have these kind of sorted in color coding. So as you can see, I have things that are in the A and the green, I have things that are in like yellow and B, and then we have things that are in like the C and blue, and then we got D in orange. As you can see, I also coded their like name right here by that color to show you how I feel about them as an overall package. So we have things like Paul George, one of the worst ones in the game if you ask me. Just everything in this, not good. Behind the back, not good. Like, it was horrible. Offhand, really doesn't bring anything to the table. The hop back was awful as well. Misdirection, I didn't even test it because the rest of the animation was so bad. And the misdirection wouldn't even save this package if you ask me. And it still requires a higher ball handle than things like Luka and LeBron anyway. So nobody, in my opinion, would ever run that. And even like the niche things, like I said, it doesn't even matter. Things like John Wall stand out in the misdirection. So we'll get into what these animations look like as we get into the arena. I'll show you guys the three favorites that I have right here between KD, Chris Paul, and LeBron. But then we have certain packages that are maybe specialists in one thing and then bad in the other, aka the LeBron package. Pretty good misdirection, pretty good behind the back, burst animation, and then really good hop back. It's the best one in the game, period. If you like to shoot out of it, obviously. There are going to be some things in today's video, though, that are more about the eye of the beholder. There will be some people that like this Chris Paul hop back. There will also be some people that love the Kevin Durant hop back and maybe don't like the LeBron one quite as much. But overall, just me judging how great the performance of the actual animation is. Hop back for LeBron is what makes this package, and it's what people would lean toward when they put this package on. It's the main reason they will put the LeBron package on. Chris Paul, really fire animations. I actually love this one a ton. The offhand is perfect for trying to shoot the ball out of, and just as an outside guard, if you ask me, to size your opponent up and look for shots out of. The behind the back burst animation you get out of is the best one in the game. It's tied with KD. They're pretty much both the same animation, and you will see that when we get into the clips that I have as well. Misdirection, also pretty solid. All three of my favorites right here have an A- misdirection, and they're all kind of the same animation. I do apologize that I didn't get the John Wall animation like showcased here. Maybe I'll load it up at the end of the video, like the end, and I'll show you what this misdirection looks like in comparison to these three right here. But that is what makes the John Wall elite, and that's probably the only thing in it that's super elite if you ask me. The hop back is really bad. It's one of the worst ones in the game possible, but the offhand is really good for like double crabs, for like outside point guards. You'll be able to really create some space off that and get people behind you and just be able to like get good crabs off it. Now, I have two different things that I'm talking about when it comes to the offhand. There is like a down diagonal where it's going to be something that I'm talking about with this Chris Paul right here. Then there's the one that is more suited for John Wall, where it's like the up diagonal, where you're going to be doing it more so to crab people essentially. And I just kind of took the best animation that I could possibly get out of the package itself, and then just gave the best grade possible for like both options that it has. LeBron's, both of them were garbage. That's just how it was. KD, both of them are actually pretty solid, decent and usable, and the double crab animation is probably the one that I used for like the best possible. But then for KD, let's come back to this one real quick. Solid misdirection, great behind the back, best one possible. To really draw the comparison between Chris Paul, because as you can see, they're the same grades and the same exact animations when it comes to the behind the back and the misdirection. What makes the difference between these two packages is one's hop back is a tad bit better and a little bit easier to shoot out of and run out of for speed boost. The other is a little bit better for offhand size-ups, if you ask me. And that's all this really comes down to. We have other things like Kobe that are pretty balanced across the board, but the misdirection is really bad. The worst one that I have seen of all of these. Judging by Paul George's luck, it probably would have been down there as well. But anyway, again, the behind the back, solid. It's okay. If you happen to be someone that wants to do like mainly hop backs and offhand escapes and stuff like that, it's still a reasonable one, but I would still argue that Chris Paul and Kevin Durant probably provide a little bit more viability to it, if you ask me. And another drawback to the Kobe is it requires 88 ball handle, whereas things like LeBron require 70. Chris Paul and Kevin Durant both 80, I believe. And with those in mind, obviously it's a little bit tougher to even get Kobe, and it speaks to less people that are watching the video. Same way that obviously I'm speaking to less people when it comes to the Lillard and Curry, which is why I didn't really drop $50 just to put my ball handle up on a new 6'1", and I deleted my old 6'1" because I needed build save slots. It's an unfortunate rabbit hole to go down, but either way, like I said, it probably wasn't worth for the fact that not a ton of people are going to be watching this video, but I do apologize to the ones that came to this maybe hoping for some insight on these. If I had an opinion, obviously, like I've seen a lot of people really love Trae Young, and I don't really have a way of, like, you know, labbing out why. And then Steph Curry obviously has like the good hop back, like the LeBron hop back, and then it still has the Curry slide too. So Curry and Trae Young are probably your best friends when it comes to stuff like that for the Sizeup escapes. Anyway, real quick before we get into the clips, I just want one last refresher on these top three right here. LeBron, absolute best hop back. Chris Paul, that's kind of its drawback, but some people might still like it. Kevin Durant had a really good hop back still that it may even be a niche thing that a lot of people even like more than LeBron. Offhand, Kevin Durant, really good double crab. It had a decent kind of like size up spam where you're looking for shots out of it, but Chris Paul, the absolute best size up spam in the game if you ask me. It's so good for getting shots out of, and then LeBron was awful for both. So behind the back, the explosive behind the back, it leans more toward Kevin Durant and Chris Paul. It's the same animation. It's the best explosive one if you ask me. LeBron still does a good one, but it's a little bit like more drawn out and a little bit slower, and then the misdirections, they're all the same. So we're gonna go over those three animation packages real quick. They're all a minute long, and we're just gonna show them all one by one. Alright, so to start us off, we have the Kevin Durant Sizeup escape package. These are just clips that I recorded, so we're getting all four of the things that I'm showcasing right here. As you can see, this one is the Sizeup escape. It's just holding your RT and flicking down, and you get that little animation right here, and as you can see, you can run out of it pretty good. So the hop back distance itself is okay, but it's not elite. However, like I said, the run out of it is ridiculous, and the snappiness, like the quickness of you doing the hop back is really good. So as you can see, this right here is the Sizeup escape package. So let's just go ahead and rewind it real quick and explain. So this one is what happens when you just kind of flick down diagonal, and it's going to move you forward a little bit, which is what I don't like about it. You're going to see in the next one when I showcase the Chris Paul that it's really, really good with the CP3 as far as those animations, but it's just unfortunate that with the KD, it's not quite as good. However, the double crab on KD, looking really, really solid. That one is with your up diagonal, and then we obviously have this right here, the behind the back, really good on KD. It's the explosive one, like I just said. It's also what Chris Paul has, for that matter too. And then lastly, we have the misdirection. So to do this move right here, all you're gonna do is flick your right stick to the left and move your left stick to the right. I know it sounds a little bit complicated to explain it like that. Maybe we'll just go ahead and wait till the ball's flipped in my other hand to show this. So this way, to do this move again, you're gonna flick your right stick to the right and your left stick to the left. That's a little bit less, what's the word, entanglement there, essentially, as far as like explaining it. So yeah, essentially you're trying to move the ball to your right hand when you do this move, and then you're gonna be moving your left stick to the left, and you're gonna be able to get this right here. Now you can move out of it really good too. You can like get some really good speed boost animations out of it. I didn't really showcase it in this clip, I don't think, but I wanted to showcase also what the crossover one looks like. So the crossover you can still do if you do it forward, and as you can see, actually I did do the speed boost as well, but regardless, doesn't really matter quite as much. But anyway, I'm actually going to showcase the LeBron one second, so you can see the hop back animation right here. Best one in the game. Easy, simple. I mean, you literally just hit people with a little stop and go rim run, boom, hit a hop back out of it. You can shoot out of it, you can speed boost out of it, pretty decent as well. Best hop back in the game, period. I mean, it doesn't really require too much more explanation other than that. Now, as far as the Sizeup escape, you can see this thing is garbage. It doesn't move you sideways at all. It's just drifting you forward. Then we have the double crab. That's at least a little bit more viable. As you can see, it's a decent move. It's not quite as good as the KD, but it's at least something that's worth noting. So then we have the behind the back. You can see the difference between this and the KD. It's not quite as good. We'll go ahead and rewind that for you one last time to just show that. Honestly, it's a lot more, I would say, elongated, so to say. You don't really get a snappy and downhill movement that I would prefer to get out of that animation, and that's what the Chris Paul and the Kevin Durant both give you off that behind the back. And then we also have the misdirection. This one's solid. Again, it's the kind of same thing as you're going to see with the KD. I might be tripping though, and I think KD might be a little bit better than LeBron, but as you can see, you can still speed boost out of the LeBron one, really good. It's still a very underrated animation. And next up, we have the Chris Paul. Now, This Chris Paul is probably my favorite Sizeup escape package in the game. We are actually going to showcase this second clip first though, because the clip strand that I got was a little bit too long, so we're just going to show it one last time right here. So this is going to be the hopback. You get this super gigantic hopback right here, but it's a lot harder to shoot out of. It's a forced animation that's going to force you to do that. However, you can cut it off to speed boost out of. You just can't cut it off to shoot out of. So one last time to showcase that real quick. It's going to be something where you're holding your RT and flicking down the right stick, obviously, and you get that super big hopback. But you have to wait all the way to the end of it to shoot out of, which is the one drawback to it. So that's the downside. However, as you can see, I could cut that off about midway through and speed boost out of it to the same side ball hand. So that is one of the perks to this. And again, the other perk to it is you get a super gigantic hopback. It gets a lot of distance. However, it takes a little bit longer to shoot out of. That is the one drawback to it. So that's why we have it rated at a B. Some people might like it, some people might not. So that's just the unfortunate truth to it. Other than that though, what I want to showcase is this Sizeup escape spam. So look at this right here. This is what you can shoot out of. This is when you're holding your RT and flicking to that opposite ball hand. In this case, when the ball's in your right hand, you want to flick it to the left. When the ball's in your left hand, you want to flick it to the right. And it's down diagonal each time. Just keep that in mind. So all you have to do is literally just as simple as that. And you're going to be able to shoot out of these. You can actually speed boost out of it too. You can combo it extremely fast, as you can see. We're going to wind that back one last time as well, just so we can make that clarified and stuff. So again, you can do this as fast as you want. You can let the whole animation play out like I was doing right here. You can speed it up and go really quickly with this. You can speed boost to each side of the ball hands as well. It's really, really good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I forgot to show the double crab as well. So I didn't even show the animation that happens when you do it double forward, aka the the up diagonal and then up diagonal again. It is a very good animation though. I apologize for not showing it though. But the behind the back, I actually did it too quickly. I ended up doing a double behind the back, and that one's not quite as good. So that's why this clip got a little bit longer, because I had to actually showcase this behind the back again. But just check this one out. I mean, it's again the same thing as KD. It looks really, really good and really snappy, really quick. You can see the downhill movement of this. Boom, boom. I mean, it actually goes really quickly. However, it does burn adrenaline each time you do it, so just keep that in mind. And then lastly, as you're going to see, we have the misdirection. Same exact thing as the KD, if you ask me. It's exactly the same animations, and they're both really good. So that's why I like these. And then I also will showcase the crossover one with this one. As you can see, doing those animations is what happens when you do it forward and diagonal. And then obviously the one that I showcased before was backwards and diagonal. Now, before I show you the John Wall, and I just have this equipped so I can show you, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit between myself on the Kevin Durant and then the Chris Paul as well. Those are my two favorites by far. The drawbacks to Chris Paul is gonna be that you need 80 ball handle for it. Obviously with KD you can have 75, so 6'10s can get this. With the LeBron, all you have to have is 70 ball handle, so you can even be all the way up to 6'11 and still get this. Whereas things like John Wall, they're height capped to 6'10 anyway, and you need 80 ball handle. So you have to be 6'9 to be able to run this. You can't be 6'10 because you have to be under 6'10, as you can see, as it listed. Same with Chris Paul, obviously you have to be under 6'10. With LeBron, you can be anything with 70 ball handle, which again gets up to 6'11. I think if I'm not mistaken, 7-footers maybe can get to 70 ball handle. I think you have to have really low wingspan though, and I'm still not even sure if you can. I don't think so, to be real with you. But anyway, Paul George, again, you can get this with a 6'10 because all you have to do is have 75 ball handle. Kevin Durant, once again, 75 ball handle. Luka, 70, so same requirements as LeBron. Kobe, however, is 88 ball handle requirement. So you have to be 6'8 and below to even be able to use this Kobe Sizeup escape, and it's not the greatest anyway, so I wouldn't even worry about it. And then we have Pro, I didn't even test. Normal, I didn't even test anyway. They both look kind of garbage in the previews, if I'm going to be real. But anyway, we're going to showcase this John Wall misdirection that I have as an A++. So we're going to show that to you real quick, and I just want to show you the differences between this and the KD and the Chris Paul. But I will say I'm a way bigger fan of the KD and Chris Paul as a package in total. I think they're the two best Sizeup escape packages in the game. It's the two that I will be deciding between as far as what I use. Now, I feel really good about the Chris Paul already. It's what I've been using, and I feel really good about shooting out of it. There is a little bit of a delay to shooting out of it. That goes for any dribble move in 2K23 for that matter. Whereas KD is a little bit more usable with the hop back. I think that hop back with the Chris Paul animation is a little bit too elongated, and it's kind of tough to deal with. But anyway, as for the misdirection right here that we have on the John Wall, as you're going to see, this thing is snappy, quick. It is by far the fastest one in the game. If you're a small guard that likes to do this stuff right here, as you can see, I'm actually doing it way too fast. I'm not even getting it to work. But if you're a small guard that likes to use these misdirections right here, it's really, really good. I will say the crossover one looks garbage. You can see it's like so tight and ugly, so I would not recommend using that crossover. However, the down diagonal to the offhand, because once again, if you just flick your right stick down to the right and move your left stick to the left, you're gonna get this animation right here. This is so quick, snappy, and good, and you can speed boost out of it too. I mean, as you can see, it's like one of the best ones to do this. So I'm quite a big fan of it, and I'm sure every small guard in the game is too. That's why they all use John Wall. It's the meta as far as like small guards go, to be real with you. Some people use Trae Young. Again, a very small amount of people use the Curry, for those who like the Curry escape, aka the Curry slide, so much. But for me, again, my cup of tea is more in the Chris Paul and KD range. I'm not sure, bro. I really have no idea which one I'm going to end up running. They're both really good. KD favors the hop back a little bit more. Chris Paul favors the side to side a little bit more. Besides that, though, they're both really good with the behind the back, both really good with the misdirections. That's about all you need at that point. So it's kind of just your cup of tea, whichever you would prefer. Now, if you guys want me to make a video on the SIG size ups, I am just the guy to go to for this. Now, unfortunately, I can't really show you my full testings on the small guard ones, but Steve Francis is by far just the easiest one to explain that small guards are just going to use at all times. But besides that, I have tested every single one of these right here to decide which one is the best for me to run. And I'm talking even Kobe that I just got and made a build specifically for, because as you can see, you have to be 6'8" to even get this. I low-key still like Jalen Suggs even more. And this is actually not even the one I was running most recently on my 6'9". I was running most recently Rayford Alston, but if you guys want my breakdown on all these SIG size ups as well, I am definitely down to showcase them to you, and definitely down to give a couple ideas as far as what you guys could roll with. But anyway, that is all for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, for to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all that good stuff, and like always, try one of 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put escape or put size up in the comments. Search supports me all the way through. But anyway, that is all for the vid. I appreciate you guys watching, and like I said, feel free to leave a comment if you want to see that SIG size up animation video as well. But anyway, that's all. Hope you all enjoyed. And then that, take it easy, man. Peace.